We are all fluent in the ancient universal language of oops. It's the first word you learn after mama and dada. And honestly, it might just be the most useful. You said it when you tried to ride your bike without training wheels and ended up becoming a human lawn dart. You whispered it in math class after confidently declaring that 7 times 8 was 32. You probably even texted it last week after sending a deeply personal message to your entire office group chat instead of just your best friend. Failure isn't some rare exotic beast like a unicorn or a polite person on the subway. It's your roommate. It's your coworker. It's that weird uncle who shows up at every family gathering. It's always there, and honestly, it's kind of funny. Let's be real for a second. Nobody ever tells a great story that starts with, "So, everything went perfectly according to plan." The best stories, the ones that make your friends snort milk out of their noses, are born from glorious, spectacular failure. Think about it. The time you aced a test is a boring footnote in your life's epic. But the time you accidentally set off the fire alarm during your final exam because you were trying to microwave a burrito you smuggled into the auditorium, that's a legend. That story will be told for generations. It will be inscribed on your tombstone. Your failures are your greatest hits, a collection of comedic gold that proves you were actually out there living a life. The pressure to succeed is immense, a giant invisible elephant sitting on your chest. But what if we just scooted out from under the elephant? What if we decided that winning is overrated? Success is a quiet, polite nod. Failure, on the other hand, is a full-blown physical comedy routine. It's slipping on a banana peel you yourself dropped. It's waving back at someone who is actually waving at the person behind you, and then committing to the wave for a full, excruciating minute. These moments are humiliating for approximately 5 seconds, and then they become hilarious for the rest of your life. They are little gifts from the universe, reminding you not to take yourself so seriously. The secret is to see each failure not as a stop sign, but as a rehearsal. You are in training. You are practicing for your next, even more magnificent failure. And let me tell you, you're getting really good at it. You're practically a professional. You have a PhD in tripping over air. You're a black belt in saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. This isn't something to be ashamed of. This is a skill. You are honing a craft, and the world is your chaotic, unpredictable, and very funny stage. Every oops, uh-oh, and well, that didn't work is just another line in your masterpiece. Let's review your professional career of failing, shall we? Your very first job interview probably involved a handshake that was either too limp, like gripping a wet noodle, or too aggressive, like you were trying to start a lawnmower. You wore a suit that was slightly too big, making you look like a child playing dress-up in your dad's closet. You answered the question, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" With a panicked, celebrating the 5th anniversary of you asking me this question. You didn't get the job, but you got a story. Now let's venture into the kitchen, the sacred arena where your talent for failing truly shines. You see a beautiful recipe online, a 5-star rated lasagna. The picture shows a golden, bubbling masterpiece. I can do that, you think, with the unearned confidence of a person who once successfully made toast. You buy all the ingredients. You spend an hour chopping onions while sobbing, not from emotion, but from sheer chemical warfare. You layer the pasta, the sauce, the cheese. You feel like a culinary god. Then you put it in the oven and forget to set a timer. An hour later, your kitchen smells like regret and you are the proud owner of a brick of carbon. Baking is another event in your personal failure Olympics. You decide to bake a birthday cake for a friend. The instructions say to gently fold in the flour. You have no idea what that means, so you attack it with an electric mixer on high speed, sending a mushroom cloud of flour billowing through your kitchen. The cake comes out of the oven with the density of a neutron star. You try to salvage it with frosting, but your frosting has the consistency of soup. The final product looks less like a cake, and more like a sad, lumpy puddle. Your friend loves it, of course, because it's the funniest looking dessert they have ever seen. Let's not forget your adventures with healthy cooking. You bought a spiralizer, determined to turn every vegetable into a noodle. Your first attempt with a zucchini resulted in a few pathetic strands of green mush and a near-severed finger. You tried to make kale chips, but you just made burnt, bitter leaves that tasted like sadness. You bought an expensive blender to make green smoothies, but you accidentally put in a whole lemon, peel and all. The resulting concoction was so sour it could probably strip paint. You drank it anyway because you are committed to the bit. Health is a journey, and your journey is apparently through a very bitter, chunky landscape. Ah, romance. The noblest of pursuits and honestly the most fertile ground for gut-bustingly funny failures. Your dating history is not a romantic comedy, it's a blooper reel. Remember that first date where you tried to be cool and mysterious? You ended up being so mysterious that your date thought you were a spy or like possibly a mime. You tried to impress them with a magic trick that involved a coin in your ear, but, you just ended up dropping the coin in your drink. You then tried to retrieve the coin, splashing water all over your date's shirt. Smooth, very smooth. They did not call you back. Then there was the time you tried online dating. You spent 3 hours crafting the perfect profile, choosing photos that made you look simultaneously adventurous, intellectual, approachable. You finally got a match. The conversation was going great. You were witty, you were charming. Then, you decided to send a funny GIF. But thanks to autocorrect and a clumsy thumb, you sent something deeply, profoundly weird. The conversation came to a screeching halt. You contemplated throwing your phone into a river and moving to a remote cabin in the woods. You didn't, but you did delete the app for a week. Let's not forget the established relationship fumbles. You tried to plan a surprise romantic getaway, but you booked it for the wrong weekend. You tried to cook a fancy anniversary dinner, but you gave your partner mild food poisoning. You bought a gift that you thought was thoughtful and unique, but it turned out to be the exact same thing their ex gave them 3 years ago. You tried to write a heartfelt love poem, but it ended up sounding like something a robot would write if it had just learned about human emotions. Your eyes are like 2 round orbs. I compute that I like them. These romantic fumbles feel like the end of the world in the moment. Your cheeks burn, your heart sinks, you wish the ground would swallow you whole. But later, they are the stories you tell your friends. They are the moments that, if you're lucky, you and your partner laugh about for years. Don't worry about the failure. This is just practice for your next spectacular failure. You're getting really good at it. So, what have we learned? We've learned that your life is a long and distinguished series of comical errors. You failed in school, you failed at work, you failed in the kitchen, you failed in love. You are a seasoned veteran of things going wrong, and this, my friend, is not a weakness, it is your superpower. People who have never truly failed are brittle, they are fragile. The first time something doesn't go their way, they shatter into a million pieces. But you are made of stronger stuff. You are made of duct tape, resilience, and the ability to laugh at yourself. You are practically indestructible. Being good at failing means you're always trying. You're the one raising your hand, even when you're not sure of the answer. You're the one signing up for the pottery class, even though you know your creation will probably look like a misshapen lump. You're the one asking someone out, even though you might get rejected. Success is a destination, but failing is a journey, and your journey is filled with adventure, surprise, and a whole lot of really good stories. You're not sitting on the sidelines, you're in the game. You're not just failing, you're failing upwards with style.